Alright, well, so I said I have a problem and I wanted to share it with you. And it's going to get lengthy, and this will probably go on into several videos. For those of you that read my story, I volunteered at a group home years ago, and there were 12 kids in there. One of them, not the ones I wrote about, another child has cerebral palsy, and outwardly it gives him difficulties walking. He recently had surgery on both feet and then had to do another surgery on the other foot. He was 2 years old when he got adopted out of the group home. He got adopted, and here we are. He's 16 years old, and this summer he ended up going back into custody. So he's back in the foster care system. Yes, even though he got adopted. The system has a lot of cracks, despite its intention. Every system has an intention of origin that's very genuine. But any system doesn't work without input from citizens and from people affected by the system. So he got adopted. Here we are 14 years later. He's 16 years old. And in addition, cerebral palsy, it's not just the outward, he can't walk well. That means, his muscles, his neurological functions are affecting his abilities in walking, the communication between muscles and nerves and all kinds of things, right? So there's a lot more than when you look at a person, he can't walk, he's disabled. Well, there's a lot more to it. And cognitive stuff. And I had occasion to, I went to the hearings, or I didn't go to the hearings, they were on Zoom because of what's going on. And I've participated in the hearings, and because I'm a foster parent, they allowed, and because I know the kid, and he was transferred to like 2 different foster homes already, he needed to be in contact with somebody he knew. So I offered, and they took me up on my providing respite for him, but it just so happened it ended up being like within a day of his most recent surgery. So I picked him up from from the hospital. Long story short, I had occasion to, we talked a lot. He spent, I don't know, 5 days, I don't remember. But he opened up to me in ways that made me see the impact, which I had already been aware of adverse childhood experiences, the impact they have, and I knew about a lot of the impact they've had in my life, right? I suffered the loss of a brother when I was 8 years old. He was 9.5. That really did change the trajectory of my life. So when this kid was sitting here telling me how he was feeling, and how he was interpreting things from his short 16 years, my heart went out to this kid. I mean, my heart had already gone out to him because the system, again, no fault of their own, right? Because it's an overburdened system, and it's got cracks, and kids fall between the cracks. The system did his adoptive mother a disservice and did him a disservice. And he ended up back in the system. All right. So, I'm going to fast forward a little bit, but there have been several hearings since then, and he had gone into a residential facility for a short while before he got taken back into the system. You know, the mother, there was a lot going on and she didn't know what to do, and, you know, he ended up getting admitted. And a test was done, something called a brain map. A brain mapping was done on him because cerebral palsy and all kinds of things, and you know, like affect our brain function. So the end result was recommendations as to what could help him. You know, I mean, he's on all kinds of medications already, right? Because that's the first line of defense in any, the conventional medical world. That's the first line of defense. Well, the recommendations are a little different to actually work on the brain, right? And try to shift some ways of it's a long, I mean, I can't get into the technicalities of it, but the recommendations were put forth before he even went into the system. The mother had difficulty getting those implemented because he was since discharged from the facility that would have provided it, because Medicaid would not continue paying for his residency there. So we've got a medical system and we have insurance dictating how we take care of our children and how we take care of ourselves, because, you know, I live in that world too, right? I've been healing myself slowly but surely out of pocket because conventional medicine was not doing it. It was just sustaining my illness, managing it. So it's disease control instead of healing. It's not health care. Anyway, he's been in the system since the summer.
My capacity to
I'm sorry. Since the summer, and he has yet to get the recommended treatment from that brain mapping. Why? Because insurance companies have certain policies. They do approve some things, they don't approve other things. Long story. They needed a court order for them to even consider him to get a neuropsych evaluation, which that's the type of practitioner that supposedly will authorize this treatment. All right, so all this, I'm telling you all this because this kid's life is on the line. And he's in a system that genuinely wants to help him, but is in overcapacity. 400,000 kids are in the foster care system right now, and he's not the only one with extenuating circumstances like this, okay? But it also points to, it's not just about the foster care system. I mean, that's my passion. That's my passion because I really, really hurt for these children because I've been in their shoes. I was never a foster child, okay? I grew up in a very healthy, by conventional standards, household, right? My adverse childhood experiences had absolutely nothing to do with anybody doing anything wrong. Mine were a natural occurrence, the death of my brother, okay? And then all the different dynamics within which I was growing up. And I had adverse childhood experiences that have resulted in in the long term, because I took those into adulthood, into physical dis-ease in my body, to where I literally had, chronic, whatever, debilitating illness. So what's my point here? My point, and I could go off on this even longer, and I'm not, I'm kind of raw right now because I'm really, really hurting. But this kid is in a system, and I do have an opportunity. I was asked if I could take him full time. I can't provide him, in my opinion, right now, a lot of the things I believe he needs. He has longed for a father figure. I don't have that to provide him. There's a lot of visits, doctor office visits, a lot of therapies, a lot of all kinds of things involved in raising a 16-year-old, above and beyond what it normally takes to raise a 16-year-old, right? And theoretically, I mean, I could probably put things in place and find a big brother kind of situation and find them a mentor and all that other stuff, but I would only be helping one kid. And I mean, I thank everybody that has ever stepped up to foster or adopt, because everybody is needed in this, right? But my vision is so much greater and widespread than actually taking in one child and affecting one child's life. I see things going on in the system and understand the domino effect, the ripple effect of all these different things. And my mission, I believe, because I've got clarity as to why I'm here, is to let people know that we each play a very big role in the way our systems operate. And it's up to us as citizens to bring these things to our system's attention, whatever the system is. We can't stay quiet anymore. There's too much stuff going on. The systems are all in disarray. I got a text the other night about the political thing, and it's like the divisiveness cannot continue. We have to rise up. We have to unite in brotherhood and sisterhood to rectify and find people that really know what's going on and really unite to collaborate together. There is no competition here. It's co-opetition. We each care about our loved ones. We each care about the children in our lives. We each care about our own lives and the lives of future generations. But it does start with us individually. We can't sit back and rely on the authorities. We have to be part of our voices. The citizens of this country have to express their voices. And their voices, our voices, cannot be stifled by corporate greed. Corporations can't stay having loud voices in our political system. These are things that have to change. But we can't change them unless we get together. We have to recognize that we're all in this together. Now, why is this kid's life, why does it matter to you? All right? Why does it matter to you?